Okay, we're recording. Sky's recording the call. Okay, let me begin. My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I am sure glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And oh boy. Oh boy, have things been happening these days.
So many things.
What I really enjoy is how our last episode was about travel.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that anymore.
Poorly timed.
Yeah. Listen,
No.
when we recorded that, we were so confident in like
it was 2
all
weeks
the
before.
fun. That was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was a different time. It was a different era.
Yeah. It was a different time and space and in the world.
Oh my God, so much has happened.
Oh, I really thought so. In case anyone hasn't listened to it, our first podcast episode ever was like the day after the death of Drama Fever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was pretty crazy, and I really thought we wouldn't ever be able to top that with like.
Oh my.
Like
and then 2020 happened.
Right.
Like, hold my beer.
Like we are on. This year has just taken us on a roller coaster of friggin' emotions. I'm telling you.
Most of them bad.
Most of them bad, but you know what? There were some good points. Both Bi and Wonho have been cleared.
Yes.
Yay!
Finally.
We're so happy.
So happy.
I really hope that if Wonho does want to return to Monsta X, he can. If he doesn't, we'll still support him.
Yeah.
But like
whatever he wants to do.
Whatever he wants to do.
So step 1 happened as far as being
Yeah. So that's excellent. He looks good. I'm very happy.
So that's good.
That
was
was
a good thing.
That's about it for
And then
all
some
the good stuff.
We like some shows. Like some shows and music, and that was...
Yeah, there's some good shows, stuff that's happened. However, other than that, the world's really taking a friggin' nosedive, huh?
Yeah, all of a sudden.
So, if any of y'all don't follow me on Twitter, I have been on
That's Natalia, by the way, to be clear.
This is Natalia. So, we did the travel episode because I was going on a business trip. Now,
business air quote.
No, it was. I did a lot of work on the trip, so it was actually a
Follow
business
her
trip.
on
So,
Instagram. It's air quotes.
if anyone's wondering what I do for work other than this and drawing Korean men scantily clad, which is my other job, I am the photographer and creative director for a yoga company. And they were holding a retreat in Costa Rica. So I was on this retreat in Costa Rica to take photos. Okay. Which I did. And the photos look beautiful. I had a great time.
For the record, we don't look very convinced.
Listen, I'm going to have a live stream. I'm going to have my coworker. She will verify that I do indeed do this job. So then, after that, she just, not only me, but my coworker is also an incredible timing. Last month, she opened a second studio. So, the second part of my business trip was that I was going to be in Montreal for a week after this. So this current week, I was supposed to be in Montreal at the second studio taking photos for the website, as well as doing, since she has some new teachers, doing the photos for like the teacher profiles and getting photos of them in poses and stuff to like use for social media and use for posters for their workshops and their classes, whatever. While we're in Costa Rica, everything goes to hell, but we're like kind of like not really connected to it. So we get to the airport and they're like, the flight has been overbooked because like maybe you might have to stay in Costa Rica until Monday because the flight's overbooked. They get us on the flight. While we're flying home, they're like, international flights like are gonna be shut down. Like they're not gonna be letting them in. So we get into the country. We go through the whole immigration. They're like, since you came from overseas, you have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, I guess my trip is extended by a week. I'll just stay at my coworker's house. We'll be in quarantine. It'll be so much fun. Like, we're just going to chill in the house for 2 weeks. Woo, we're going to have a good time. Like, whatever. That would have been great. So my original flight was supposed to be tomorrow, but then we were moving it to the 28th. Okay. Because we're in quarantine until the 28th. Yesterday, so March 18th, the airline puts out a notice that says all flights are grounded until at least June 1st. So I see this, and I'm like, June 1st, what's the... Oh no. So at the time, like, my coworker was on like a business call because like the studio's closed. So we've been going into the studio as like an extended quarantine because there's no one there except for us. So it's sort of like an extension of our house. So we've been filming like YouTube videos because like what the fuck else are we gonna do? Like, you know, like we're making some like, so she's like, you know, we're doing some like yoga class videos for her clients that can't go to yoga. So I'm like, hey, Danny, and I like text her the press release, and I'm like, so, she comes out of like her office, pissing herself laughing. She's like, no fucking way. She's like, well, I guess you live here now. So I basically like live in their basement now. But which is mostly fine. Like, it's fine here. Like, I'm having a good time. Like, they set me up with like, you know, I had my computer tower with me because I always bring it because I just have a Mac Mini, so it's not like a big thing. So when I'm traveling here, I bring it. So they set me up with like, you know, a monitor and everything. The only downside is all of my clothing was for Costa Rica, plus like 3 yoga outfits to just wear at the studio because it's a hot yoga studio. So I didn't actually need winter clothing, but it's still winter here.
Well, just live that quarantine life, girl.
You can't venture very far anyway, though, so...
Well, it's all good in the hood. I'm just going to be sitting around in my very, I have one sweatshirt. I'm wearing it right now.
And then you can layer your leggings. Just
put on like 5 pairs of leggings and my shorts over top of them. Like, layer all my crop tops with my one cardigan that I have. Oh, yeah. And I can't, and like normally if it was any other situation, I could just like go to a thrift store and like buy some sweatpants or whatever. You can't do that right now.
You can't do that right now.
You can't do that right now. Yeah, so things are kind of like a real clusterfuck, huh, guys?
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to be positive about this in the sense that this now gives all of us forced to be at home because nothing is open. You know what still works? The internet. And you know what's on the internet? Asian television. So we are gonna have a great time. We're gonna catch up on all of that stuff we haven't been able to watch because we've been working.
She looks like she's gonna cry.
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
Now that I'm unemployed, I can watch things again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jesse's work got way affected by it.
Yeah.
Extremely, because I work in theater, which is dependent upon people coming, together in large masses. It also happens to be the time when we're doing our biggest new play festival that is world renowned. Like, most of our profit comes from this festival, and we had to cancel it, which meant that I'm usually laid off in the summers, but now I'm laid off a month earlier, And who knows how big of an effect this had on the theater.
Yep.
Yeah, here we are.
So
do you have anything that you want us to do? Because we can do it now.
We can do it now.
Do you have any special requests about our thoughts on things, or
we got
you think it'd be entertaining?
Spoiler episodes.
Yeah.
Give her to us. Give it to us. We will.
And then Amanda has all of her people at home.
Oh my God, all her children home.
Of them.
Actually,
it's March break here, so like the kids were supposed to be off this week anyway. We were prepared for that. But then on the Thursday before they, had their last day of school, the government says, so actually we're going to shut down all the schools for an extra 2 weeks after March break, just to, be sure.
Oh, it's going to be longer than that.
Okay, 3 weeks. Okay, we can maybe. And then my husband comes home like Monday night and says, so yeah, I had to bring my computer home because I have to work from home for now until the schools go back. Okay, cool. The next day he has like a conference call with the bosses from work, and they're like, yeah, we've decided for 3 months. You guys have to work from home for 3 months. I'm like, and they said that, one of the other provinces apparently has already maybe decided that they're going to, school is canceled until September.
Yeah.
So school might be canceled till September. So it might be 5 of us in the house all the time.
Yeah. So right now, one of my coworkers' kids is here because she has one son and then 2 stepsons. So the 2 stepsons were at their mother's house, and they come back after quarantine is over, and one of them really likes me, so he's like all pumped. He's like, yeah, he's like, one of them likes me, and the other one's like 16 and like too cool for
like all 16-year-olds.
Yeah, he's too cool for fun Natalia, but the 14-year-old is like, yes, like I'm so pumped. I'm just like, oh, I'm so excited. And then the 9-year-old's been here with us because like there's nowhere to send him.
You're living my life right now because my almost 16-year-old, except for mine are reversed. My almost 16-year-old is chill. She's having a great time. She's she's being polite and helpful and doing her thing, and and the 14-year-old is sassing off and being smart-mouthed and just like
the stress is getting to him,
The 9-year-old's like fine.
9.
He's
the 9-year-old
he's 9. He's just doing his thing. Can I watch TV? Can I go on the computer? Can I?
Yeah.
His teachers are like giving us all like online homework for them to do, and he's like, yes, and he's hopping on and doing it. Like it's all fine. So
today we took the dogs for a walk, and we have the little 9-year-old with us because there's a 9-year-old here too. So same ages.
Yeah. I know, that's what I'm saying.
But the 9-year-old, and they're like, and my coworker was like, oh, so are you excited for your brothers to come home? He's like, if I cannot tell a lie, I'm excited for Mark to come home. Like, yeah, still that's the honesty of childhood. Oh, babe.
My situation, Sky's situation.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. I live with an intensive care nurse. My husband's an intensive care nurse, so I was already prepping mentally for like who knows what that's still gonna mean. Like, we'll see. But yeah. So he definitely is now taking care of somebody with the stuff, and so as of that, I'm. Everyone's self-quarantining, so that's great. I encourage everyone to do that. But definitely, as I live with somebody that is a caregiver of someone with it, even though they take precautions, all the more so for a reason for me to not go say hi to everybody. So
instead, she's gonna say hi to everybody here through the podcast.
Yeah. None of us live in the same state, so we can do this.
Right.
Yeah. So as
we're used to that.
Together.
As like an aside, So I will not be having any money coming in all summer because the studio is closed. Jessie won't be having any money coming in because her theater is closed. Sky should, she's just chilling.
We'll be
she's
fine.
Chilling. She'll be fine. You know, and you can't go to work either, Amanda, because
I mean, theoretically I can, but it's kind of a bummer because this year my boss already has more orders this year than she had in like all of last year. So she was like prepped, like this is my year. We're taking off.
We were all such
going.
Fools.
Is shipping gonna be hard now? Are they like limiting shipping?
I don't know. So far, shipping seems okay, but like, because she's got all these orders, she's gotta, ship out. She gets all of her fabric from China, so we've had a delay because like the factories
nobody's working.
Down. But the factories are all back up and running again now. Mm-hmm. So like they're shipping this stuff to her. She's just like, whether it gets here or not.
Yeah.
See what happens.
So, if any of y'all are out there with steadier jobs and you want to help maybe support the old podcast members who are out of work for the summer, you might want to head on down to our coffee, ko-fi.com/certified Nunes and, help a couple loonies out. You know what I'm saying?
Or your local food bank or anything
else.
Yes,
your local food bank first. And after you put some canned goods in the old local food bank,
actually,
you can get them.
So the other day, before I was way locked down and I was needing to do grocery shopping anyway, I was considering like going and getting some cans or whatever, but I looked into it. So just so you know, some food bank type places, they already are able to buy food in bulk.
Oh yeah, they want money. They want money. Yeah.
So they prefer money because for $1 they can get like $21 worth of food. And I'm like, dude, I don't need to go.
So donate to your local food bank, and then if you have like $5 left over, feel free to help.
Or even $3. A coffee is $3.
Yeah, $3. You got it $3. You can.
She was doing the Canadian conversion.
Yeah,
okay.
Canadian,
expensive coffee.
You know what's okay? I'm gonna tell you what I am the most annoyed about, and it's the stupidest thing because it's such a first world problem. Is that I just ordered a new 3D printer that arrived at my house. I was so excited to just like ride this out, like making cookie cutters, but now it's just sitting in a box in my office. My husband texted me today. He's like, "Oh, your 3D printer arrived." I'm like, "Oh."
You're gonna come home and he's like hooked it up. He's like started making things.
He's like a 3D modeling master. He's like got the whole house printed out and be like, "The fuck is this?" No, and you know what? And on the plus side, like I'll have a bunch of Korea boxes waiting for me for some, I'll do some unboxing. And I also have a plan to force my coworker to watch. I'm gonna make some reaction videos where I force her to watch K-pop videos, and she knows nothing about K-pop except that I love it. That's all she knows about it. Is that it comes from Korea, and I'm a big fan. That's it. That's her only knowledge. That's it. So that should be fun.
Are you going with like the super crazy videos? Like
no.
Crazier the better, or like the sort of mainstream one.
Your favorite.
My plan is I have to start with the quality. I got to start with the ones that I'm like, oh yeah, this will fool her into. I'm playing the long game. I'm gonna suck her in with like the good stuff. I'm deciding between. I'm thinking of her, like what I think she would enjoy. So I'm deciding between the first video being "Kill This Love," what a banger.
Okay.
"Want" by Taemin, solid, or "Love Shot." Like those are my three that I'm like, Yes, those three have very good mass appeal to from visuals to the song to everything. And then after that, we ventured. No, Holla Holla. That was the other one that I was thinking. Because, like, you got the dancing. So I'm, like, still sort of deciding. And then after that, you slowly work your way towards the weirder stuff. Until finally, on the list, I have made, like, a YouTube playlist. The last song on the list is Doom Dada. That's when you know.
Why don't you just start with that, man?
You should do Orange Caramel.
No, that's
yes.
We continue. Like after, like if you can get someone.
You get to that, then you're like on the.
By the time you get to then, like you're in it. Like you're going. You're like, I'm in this for good now. And then you get to pull out the classics. Then you got to pull out. You got Sorry, like you got like some Shinhwa. You got it all. You got the bad hair from like the early 2000s. That's when you pull that. You got Ring Ding Ding Dong stuck in her head for years.
Rococo.
Yeah, exactly. You just that's when you go all ham. Okay. But you got to get you got to work up.
You got to ease her into it.
I was like thinking of starting with Overdose, but I felt like that would be a little too on the nose.
Overdose is a pretty good solid people like that.
Yeah, people
song,
like it.
And it's the transition between the two sets is pretty cool.
I think if you're talking EXO, Call Me Baby's a good intro one because it feels very. The aesthetic of it's
true.
The thing is,
Overdose has good dancing though, like a good representation of like a.
So like my thing is, I can't start with something that's too boy band, okay? Because if you start too boy band, then it's a little alienating, and you get like the Backstreet Boy vibes, which like Call Me Baby has real like NSYNC vibes to it.
Does.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But so I got to start with something a little more contemporary, a little more modern,
Bullet to the Heart.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's on the list. You know what? Like, I'm going to just like pull up a list. I'll tell you what I've got on the list so far.
We need her to come after this whole like thing. She needs to come and guest on the podcast and like.
You know what?
Actual,
she will guest on the podcast, like for sure. She is so pumped to just like be part of my life.
Want some stuff.
All right, so here's the list. The list is in absolutely no particular order. I just picked ones that I enjoy and thought she would enjoy. Monsta X Shootout, obviously. Yeah. Kill This Love. I hesitated with this third one, but I was like, it's history. Bang Bang Bang, obviously.
Yeah.
Love Shot. Baby Don't Stop. La La Lay, because like that's just a great, Sunmi's just great. Twice As What Is Love. Middle of the Night. Hell yeah. NCT's new one, Kick It, because like it's so absurd.
It is.
It's like, such an absurd song and video that I'm like, this is beautiful. Jopping, obviously, you got to do that. I have the Becky and Loco collab.
Oh yeah.
Hwasa, Twit, Shoot Me, obviously, Psycho. Oh, I also have the Jason Derulo, Lay, and NCT Shut Up and Dance.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That is so good.
And Bullet to the Heart, obviously. Miro, Taemin's Want, Follow, Coco Bop. You gotta put Coco Bop.
I was gonna ask if Coco Bop was on there. Mike can still ask. Can we have the drunk song?
No, do a 4-minute like Crazy or Hate.
No, Hate's on there.
Okay.
Hate's on there. Danger by Super Junior D&E. I think by Super Junior. Congratulations by Day 6, obviously. Holla Holla. Undercover. Monster. Coup d'etat by G-Dragon. I got Scream by Dreamcatcher, because I think she'd really enjoy that. Fear by 17. Say My Name. Famous. Doom Dada. Fantastic Baby. Sorry by The Rose. Sweet Chaos. Rooftop. Rebuy by Akmu.
Oh,
get into that.
I've got the Haha Mino from Infinite Challenge, The Shoot, solid. Millions by Winner. UN Village.
Soundtrack stuff to see if maybe some of like the slower like ballads
Yeah, I'm still making the list. Like, it's still going.
That would be a good, like, category
in progress.
Of, like, yeah. So I added, like, Beautiful Goodbye by Chen. We got What a Life by XOSC. Drama Rama, obviously, because that is the most cinematic music video.
It really is.
You're getting a whole rich backstory with that. And then I just recently added I don't even know how to say it. 2YA, Super Junior. You know what I'm talking about. Super Junior. Super Junior. Yeah, Super Junior's new song. I really enjoyed it, and I was like, maybe,
You gotta get the classics.
You gotta get Super Junior in there. Just you gotta do it. So yeah, I'm still building the list. So if you have any suggestions of you out there, what should Natalia's coworker Danny, who knows nothing about K-pop except that it comes from Korea and that Natalia likes it, listen to when she's held captive for the foreseeable future with Natalia? Oh, she's so pumped. Like, so we're doing a live stream. I'm restarting the live streams from Danny's house because, like, the fuck else am I gonna do? And she's like all excited to be part of these.
She's also like, the fuck else I'm gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, the fuck else? No, because like she does like little like Instagram lives for her yoga studio from her she has like a home office, but she has it like all set up, so she has like all of these like lights and like pillows that say like namaste and stuff, like, and like she has like a whole like one of those like big ring lights with like the phone holder things in it. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot fancier than my shitty setup back home. So meh.
I've realized for me, so I'm not going to get super serious, but I realized for me recently that the past couple weeks I haven't been as good at escapism as I have been in the past. Like, during normal life, I've been really good at escapism. Like, normal day-to-day life is like, well, I'm just going to check out and, like, watch a K-drama for, like, 2, whatever. Yeah. But past couple weeks, I've done that a little bit, but I haven't been able to unplug near as much or for as long.
Yeah. I'm like really
trying to pay attention.
It's weird when you're watching too, because like I was watching one and like every time they got on the crowded bus, I was like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get off like, and you're like, okay, this is a year old. It's like they didn't like it's not current. Like, relax. But still, it's just like, oh, stop touching each other.
Stop touching each other.
I've decided to like really lean into it. I'm currently, Amanda knows where this is about to go. I'm currently writing a novella while I am in quarantine about Jisoo and Namjoo Hyuk also in quarantine together, fallen in love. So that's happening.
It's a really cute little story so far. We're enjoying it.
It is pretty cute. But like, listen, like, what else am I gonna do? Like,
you're making a big list of stuff to do during your what else are you gonna do?
Well, exactly. I have nothing but time. I have nothing but time. Like, I'm not really working. I'm not at home. I can't do anything. You can't go anywhere. So the best advice I have in these hard times is get a hobby that you can do at home.
I think it's weird because, like, at least I feel like most of us already do this, like, every day of our life, but once we're forced to do it, we're like, whoa, this is weird. And then, like, everybody else in the world is doing it, you're like...
Yeah, I mean, before... No, listen, do you know what I think is great?
It's just our little things, like, just us.
Is we were just laughing about... My coworker, Danny, and I were laughing about this, where she was like, I used to, like, not understand you as a person because... Like, you just wanted, she's like, I used to not really appreciate your ability to keep yourself occupied with nothing for so long. Like, she's like, you could go days without needing anything from anyone because you just could amuse yourself. She's like, now we all have to learn how to amuse ourselves. Like, yep. That's
but yeah, once you have to do it, though, it's like, oh, this does feel kind of different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's not so much that I have to do it. It's that now I have other people watching me do it because they're here with me, and I'm like,
you're like the spectator.
Yeah, it's like it's like I'm some sort of like guru bestowing my lazy wisdom upon them. I'm like, here.
And at this time, we'll just move to this other room and sit.
Yeah, it's like, you ever wonder why my charge cord is so long? Well, wonder no more. It's so I can have optimal lounging while I watch stuff on my phone. I also am ashamed to admit that I was having a hard time getting into new stuff because I was kind of like stressed out about what was going to happen to me. So I may have rewatched Tharn Type again.
But why that? Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Listen, okay, the reason is because, is the show good? No. But is the show entertaining and very escapist? Yes. And also, are the dudes really hot? The answer to that is, oh yes. They fine. So I ain't got any problem. I was actually watching it with my coworker next to me who was like, the fuck are you watching? And I'm like, listen, you came into my fake bedroom and lied down in bed with me. You get to watch some Tharn Type, okay?
But that's not how to ease her into things, though.
Well, no, like,
really, like,
to be, no,
it could go seriously wrong.
That's like the opposite philosophy compared to what you're doing with K-pop.
Well, I wasn't expecting her to come in and like, she was just, lying. But anyway, I got the husband really interested. I was watching her husband Phil and I were sitting next to each other on the plane home from Costa Rica, and I was watching Voice on my phone, and he like kept like looking over, and he was like, "Oh, that show looks pretty interesting." And I was like, "Well, how about we watch it together once we're back in Montreal?" So yeah, so he wants to watch Voice now, so that might be their first introduction to
you could hook
K-dramas.
The 9-year-old with King's Avatar. My 9-year-old totally hooked on King's Avatar, so if you're looking for something to hook the 9-year-old,
any anime that you wanted to watch it with them.
Yeah, well,
some of them,
but like,
no, story. This is so funny. So we were in the car going to the yoga studio to pick up some stuff, and the kid's sitting next to me, and he goes, "Play Rocket Man," like Elton John's Rocket Man. So Phil's putting it on, and Danny turns to me and she goes, "Yeah, Phil took him to see Rocket Man in the theater." And then I was like, "But isn't there lots of like gay sex in that?" She's like, "Yes, there is." He didn't realize it. So he accidentally scarred.
Did the rating not like make him think?
He just covered his eyes. He was like, "No, Zane, don't look." I feel like, to be honest, I feel like every parent accidentally makes a similar mistake like that at some point in their lives, and they're just like,
made the biggest mistake of my life.
It's like too late to get out of it, so they're just like, "This is happening."
I came home one time and my husband was watching Ghostbusters with the kids, and he's like, I mean, it's Ghostbusters, and I was like, is it possible you're not remembering some major plot lines of this movie? And he's like,
you mean like the ghost lady giving fellatio to Dan Aykroyd, like that plot point? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, I mean, people getting possessed by demons and then having sex with each other, and then maybe, babe, we could just, he's like, it started to happen. He's like, oh, I remember now. And he's like,
and it's like this slow motion to the remote.
Like, what's going on? And we're like, well, they're possessed by devils, and now we're moving to the next part. Like,
I always sort of remember when I was in grade 9, for some reason, it was like, in the end of the school year where teachers have kind of given up. And so he's like, okay, we're going to watch a movie. We're going to watch Shakespeare in Love. And he stands in front and he goes, listen, at one point, poor Mrs. Paltrow's breasts are just flying all over the place. But we're going to be adults about this, okay? Like, you may see a nipple. Don't get me arrested for it. Just look away if it offends you. But to get semi on topic, so there's
a topic.
We don't really have, the topic is wow,
our life is burning around.
But since we now, and I'm sure many of you listening to this out there may have some time on your hands, to, I don't know, binge a show, here or there, watch a movie. We want to talk about shows that we think, we'll just take a moment to talk about shows that we think might be a good binge. Good binge for different bingeable shows. I'll start with one that I did binge after watching it. I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, and it makes a much better binge than it did a week to week, and that is What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. That was a good binge, much better than watching week to week, because when you watch it as a binge, you can sort of not get caught up on the weaker aspects of the plot points.
Yeah.
And you can just be like, that's okay. You're moving on now.
I do think that happens with binges. I've really thought about that a lot before, because there can be a show that might not be the strongest show, but if you get hooked on it, and if there are parts that you really do enjoy for it, and that's pretty much why you're binging it, the strong points kind of outweigh.
You don't have to stop.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to stop and
think
about the dumb points. Because it'll just keep going. Yeah.
And then once you finish it relatively quickly, however quickly that is for you in that binge, then you're looking back and you're mostly thinking of the strong points again.
Yeah.
Because so much of it.
So it's people who've never had time to binge things, they're in for a whole new experience of television right now, because binging is the tits. It's so good.
Time prior to finding Asian dramas, I hadn't really binged all that much before. I think mostly it was Star Wars when I was younger or something, but I really hadn't done a lot of, and the long Pride and Prejudice movie. Definitely have done.
Yes. Yes, the Colin Firth Pride and Prejudice. Yes.
That and the original Star Wars trilogy, those were the only things I had really binged before. So when I slowly started kind of learning how to binge Asian dramas, it was a whole different world, because I don't know, the way you process it is very different than when you're doing it in a ton of sittings or week to week or whatever.
Yeah.
I think
I find that with Thai dramas, they often make a better binge, because
for sure.
You don't get hung up on wait, was that really offensive, that thing that they were, is this an abusive relationship? You're you're just watching it and you're just go.
So
you don't have time to analyze the problem.
Yeah, anyone out there who's been listening to me both love and hate on Tharn Type for the past 4 months or so, because I think I mentioned it pretty much every episode. It has consumed my life. It's a pretty good binge, I'm gonna be honest, because the first 3 episodes are rough, and by rough I mean the main character, you want to punch him in the face because he's just a piece of shit, and then the other main character, who's not that much of a piece of shit, makes many questionable decisions. But then after episode 3, it suddenly gets I hesitate to say good. Good is not the word. It gets addictive. It gets addictive, and you want to keep watching. But getting through those first 3 episodes, you're just oh boy.
For me, I'm gonna throw everything, because I haven't been wanting to watch shows, even though I do want to watch shows, and they've been harder to watch. So I really like watching, and this is not drama, it's K-pop related, but K-pop content is the best in time when you really need to just focus and not think about the world and not want to spontaneously cry every 5 seconds, watch some V-Lives, watch some Day 6 V-Lives, or some 2 p.m. V-Lives, or any of your favorite people, watch some compilations on YouTube. There's a ton of things. If you wanted to ever get into a K-pop group, find the incomplete guide to such and such group, and then just like have fun like watching the antics, because some of those K-pop groups are just nuts and crazy, and they're like so much fun, and like it's small things too, so you can like watch little bits of it, go about your business, and come back to it, as opposed to like if you were watching a drama and you just kept on like only watching 10 minutes of a drama, it would just not work out. Also, alternatively, variety shows are like the best.
And also,
like they really just like help me, like they calm me down a lot, like especially Running Man. I know Running Man's hard to find, especially like the older stuff, but like binging Running Man really does just like make me happy. Like it's the one thing I'm like, okay, this is like it. It's just like so funny and like so much fun and so goofy and so crazy that you're just like blocking out everything.
Yeah. And despite the fact that I hate sports, I love watching the Idol athletics competitions. Oh, why are they so much fun?
And even just finding clips of like your favorite group that was on it. Because if you go and watch the actual entire episode, if you're not into all the groups, it's a lot of content. Like,
but you know, it's a fun way to like maybe get into a new group.
If you're down for that. I'm just saying, some people just want just a little taste of their people. So
yeah,
you're not guaranteed a ton of screen time with your people.
A sousson of K-pop, please. A sprinkling of my babies, please.
Yeah.
C-dramas are also good. Like those long ass C-dramas. Like you ain't got nothing better to do.
That's true.
Might as well watch all 50 episodes of The Untamed. That's all I'm saying.
I guess alternatively, family dramas. Like if you ever want to start a family drama, this might be a great time.
Especially the nice ones, like just the easy ones. Like I'm watching 5 Enough with my sister right now, and I could easily binge that. It's so good. It's so enjoyable. But so like good. Father is Strange is another one that's just
Never Twice.
Fun. It's just good.
So good.
Never Twice was great.
It had an adorable baby.
Yeah.
Like I don't want one in my house, but like I appreciate a good cute baby.
And
like Return of Superman.
I like the college C-dramas. I don't know what it is, but like modern college C-dramas. I inhaled Put Your Head on My Shoulder this week. Like I just
Love 020.
If you like teenage rom-coms, I think that those college C-dramas like are very closely like mirrored off of them, and I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think part of what I like about them is the fact that they're in college. So some of the like how high school rom-coms always make it like a big deal, like this is the person they're going to be with for the rest of their life, and you're like, you're 15, kid, like maybe, but probably not. But like when they're in college, you've got a little bit more of a like,
you're like,
it makes a little more sense. They're adults, they're graduating and going into their lives, like, okay, maybe this is the person they're going to be with for the rest of life. The stakes seem a little bit more realistic.
I've also found that like in high school dramas, you'll get the bullying situations more than you will at college, and like I really bullying situations I really like have a hard time dealing with. When you go into the high school ones, just like constantly have them, even when they're like comedies, they tend to have them, and they're like pretty like violently bullying, like they're not just like passive.
They're
so,
not
like,
just
I find
saying
that, like,
mean
college
things about each other.
is like a little bit more. It's easier, even if like the stakes are higher. It's still a little bit more easier. It's not just so targeted and so like draining on it, like to watch that happen.
Well, it feels like more if there is like a nasty girl or something in college, it's like you walk away. Like it's not, unless she's your dorm mate. It's just okay. Bye. Like
it feels like the little bit more freedom that the characters have helps them get away from it a little bit.
You know what I'm like really excited for? In like 6 months, when all of the K-dramas about people in quarantine start coming out. I'm excited. Because you know it's gonna happen. Like
there'll probably be some
happen.
like hospital drama about like
for
a
sure.
fictional,
true.
some fictional quarantine hospital in a fictional quarantine with and they'll make a big deal at the beginning when the credits run. None of this is based on anything real whatsoever. We swear to God. And you're like, okay.
Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Mm-hmm. Absolutely nothing.
I think that's what's kind of interesting about the situation is it's not like it was a big fictional theme that we have all consumed a lot of. It's not something that has been explored as much as every other fiction. There's a lot of themes and tropes out there that we're very used to.
The closest genre we have to like pandemic fiction is zombies.
That's true. And it's like, it's fine, but like
it's not quite the same.
Yeah. It did feel sort of amusing that the second season of Kingdom came out basically on the day that like everything locks down. It was like, wow, okay.
Well, it is what it is.
For me recently, like I haven't been watching a ton of long stuff. So if you I'll kind of start looking at movies. I've watched a couple of movies or mini dramas or web dramas and stuff. So those are quick because I've been distracted with real life, or definitely for people who are quarantined with a lot of other people in the house that they maybe need to take care of or deal with a lot. It might be harder to binge longer, but so there's stuff out there. There's a lot of movies, and I know. So a recent movie that I did watch prior to all this was Pirates. Wasn't that the title? I think that was the title. I'll have to go look. No. But so if you like Pirates of the Caribbean, there is pretty much a similar, less supernatural, but still goobery and really fun and actiony. So if you're into that, there's a movie that has, some big names in it. So it's definitely worth checking out. And it's on Viki. It's on YouTube. Like officially, it's not a sketchy YouTube thing. Like
a legit YouTube.
It's like it is. It looks very official, I think. So it's out there for everybody to check out. So I'm trying to think if it was appropriate for kids. I think it mostly was. A little bit older kids probably, because, fighting, dying, that type of thing. But
reading, reading subtitles.
Reading subtitles with action is actually kind of hard too. So there's a little bit of a steep. Well, no, perfect time to have this when Netflix has gotten so many more dramas, like K-dramas. You're almost guaranteed everything that's coming out now, between the three.
Except for with Netflix letting you download, like we got an email from our service provider, and they're like, listen, they've waived all overage fees for the next 2 months. They're like, we're not charging people for going over there, like whatever, because no, like that's just a bad idea. So, okay, cool. But they were like, but also a lot of people are going to be working from home and they're going to need their internet. So like, if you could just like chill with the usage during the day, that would be great. And I'm like, do I pay the same amount as they do? I do. Oh, never mind then. But
and also that's kind of nonsense.
A bunch of content and just have content that you can like throw in front of the kids. That's all downloaded.
But I'd also second Jesse on the K-pop suggestion thing, because it's also a quick thing. So if you need quick fun. Also, so I can't handle watching Kingdom, but I sure can watch interviews of the cast being really funny.
Yeah. Netflix has Swoon, the YouTube channel.
So check out this Swoon. They have fun games and little interviews, and even I like watching behind the scenes stuff. Whatever dramas I'm watching. So, and even recently, so like for The Weather Is Fine drama, none of the behind the scenes stuff is subbed. I don't care. It's still fun to
No,
watch.
it's still fun.
It's so fun.
Cute.
I've been taking my entertainment in small doses so far, just because I've been distracted. But
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's one of the other things too with something like, I can't watch Kingdom either because, like, no, too scary for me. But I very much enjoyed listening to the K-Bay recaps, and then there's a new one, I think it's called Launched or something, and they're recapping as well. Like, recap podcasts are a great way to watch a drama that you don't actually want to watch, but you have, like, fear of missing out, you know? And I find K-Bay fun. They imagine everything is gay, but, you know, it's enjoyable. So they're a good time. But I think podcasts can be a good diversion too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to be doing things even though you're still in the house. You still have to wash dishes and stuff, and sometimes that doesn't work.
If you're using this time to do like other things, like, you know, like you're like, okay, I have the time now, I can go through this closet that I wanted to go through. Podcasts are so much more beneficial for that. Like, it just makes things easier.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Everyone out there.
We have
quite
a few episodes.
Yes, we have quite a catalog of.
You know.
Maybe you finished a drama that we've talked about, so you can listen to the spoiler episode.
Yeah.
Many options.
Also, there's a new podcast out there, and it's not Asian themed or anything, but if you're into Night Vale type stuff, it's from the guy that wrote Night Vale, and it's pretty serious. I mean, it's called Our Plague Year. It's not all that funny really, but it's pretty introspective, and he's bringing on other writers and stuff. I listened to the first episode, and it's pretty heartfelt, and just kind of like, the main thing is pretty much, it's a scary time, but we don't need to be scared alone. Like, we can all talk about it, kind of, and how it's affecting us. But there are light touches to it, of course. And so, yeah, if you're wanting to process, I think it helps. Like, if you have some fears and stuff, it kind of helps other people talking about that. So, and it wasn't just him on it. He had other voices. Yeah. He'll continue to have other voices on it. So I thought it was pretty good.
And I think it's also important to not let yourself get consumed by all the updates and the news and everything. Like, take a break. Go do something fun.
I heard, I saw someone on Twitter, their wife called it doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling. That's right.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I've been doing too much stuff.
No, that's definitely what my mom's been doing. Like, I'll just be like, hey mom, like, what'd you do today? And she's like, did you hear about the newest COVID? I'm like, Mom, I don't want to. I don't want to. Listen, I'm, I'm.
Pick up some new hobbies. Like, this
learn to knit or something.
You know what? For starters, knitting, there's so much online. You can learn to knit online. Like, seriously, it's not hard.
Especially now,
and everybody will mail you stuff. So, like, they will mail you entire kits, and you can learn it all. So, like,
I think it's Skillshare is doing a thing, because everybody's starting to waive things right now, like, for you to do stuff. I think Skillshare is one of the ones that are doing it, where it's like a free month or something of their programs, and they're like an online class type thing, like courses taught, but they're like, they go from like design to baking to knitting to like
they got everything
stuff. And I mean, like, honestly, YouTube 100% you can find people who will teach you on YouTube, because YouTube has these pockets. I don't think people like really grasp, like, YouTube has these like pockets of like fandoms of like people who are just into like certain things. Yeah. And so they'll teach you it because they like it, and they're also like doing it because they like talking about it. So like the way that we like talking about Asian dramas, there are people who are gonna like be talking about like knitting or like specific techniques of knitting, like quilting, or like anything, carpentry, anything you can find. You can find like a group of people who just like doing that, producing like videos on YouTube about it. Yeah.
Like my favorite one of that similar to that on YouTube is a channel called Evan and Caitlin, and they're this couple that lives in Texas, and they just make stuff, usually out of resin.
So great.
And they're so cute. Like, and the stuff they make
we were literally
so
just
cool.
talking about that at work today. Them at work.
God, I
like,
love Evan and Caitlin. No, like my husband learned, I'm not kidding about this, our dryer broke, and he went on YouTube. And YouTube taught him how to disassemble, repair, and reassemble a dryer.
Yeah, my husband too. Yeah.
Well, my husband, he wanted to do this thing on his Jeep, like this big thing, but he needed to know specifics. And before he ordered this stuff, I think he made sure that there were people out there that could be able to tell him how to do it. But sure enough, like this really elaborate whatever, like he got told how to do it, and he did it himself.
Yeah, I'm teaching myself 3D modeling.
I literally
what else am I gonna
Photoshop from YouTube.
Yeah,
I know.
Same.
I didn't take a class at all in school or anything.
So yeah, and YouTube is free.
Oh,
it's free.
And even learning languages too. So like I know I've been putting that off. Like
Duolingo. Why not?
Oh, Talk to Me in Korean is also doing special stuff. If you want to do like stuff with Talk to Me in Korean, they have like a book series and stuff, but they also have like a lot of their books and stuff on PDF too, so you don't actually have to like ship them because they're in Korea. But I did see that they're starting to do for the next like 2-ish weeks, doing constant live streams every day.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So like while you're like kind of stuck, you can do it. But they're very like responsive about those things, and they have a backlog of YouTube videos and podcast videos. If you're like really wanting to like learn the language, you don't even have to like have purchased their books to learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you can find that with anybody. Like honestly, if you wanted to learn French, you could find that section on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know.
And also like if you want to sort of stay active when you're stuck in your house, there are all sorts of like exercise videos. Like for example, I am currently producing ill-conceived yoga videos for my company. So Gamma Yoga, if you want to go to YouTube, and
it'll be on the blog post.
shameless plug. Most of the videos are in French. I am in Quebec, but there is an English one. It's a very zesty flow. So it's zesty. But so like that's now don't just lie around all day either. You got to keep your mind and your body moving so that you don't go insane.
I want to talk about the upsides of stuff though, because it is nice. Like I like how places are waiving fees for online classes, or maybe professors or speakers that got all their authors who got their stuff canceled, conferences and whatever. Like they're often trying to do live streams and talks, and I saw that. I don't know, like I saw scientists. There was already a thing that was kind of set up for scientists to talk to people sometimes, but they're opening it to families. Like, so I've really been enjoying how
people just coming together to like inform.
Yeah, there's like a real sense of like people genuinely wanting to help each other through this, and that's always nice to see.
Well, and then it's not just like, hey, let's get through it, but hey, if you're wanting to like learn and improve yourself, and here, I'm gonna help you if you want to. Like, let's have fun together. And since we're all in kind of this forced moment together, it's really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Like, because I know, so like Christmas time is my favorite time of year because there's always that aspect of like giving back. And so some people like to do that around that time. And so when there are moments like this in history, and that's another thing. So I'm going to start journaling, and I think I've seen a lot of people trying to encourage that, kind of to get out of your headspace a bit. I was hoping to do it before I came on tonight, but I hadn't had time. But and I used to do that a lot growing up because I'm a very inward thinking person, and I would need to get out of my head a lot. But also because it is a historical moment, like eventually we're going to look back at this and try to remember how we processed it and kind of the way it went down.
Yeah.
Maybe even just on a personal level. Like, not that we need to submit our stuff to some historical society or something. But, especially if you have kids, it would be probably fascinating for them to, like, record things, and then when they're grown up, like looking back how they handled it when they were kids and stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking like once my new phone gets in, because I'm getting a new phone. This is unrelated to anything about that, but the new phone is coming in. I'm going to start vlogging, just because I got the sick ring light that she's got set up in her office, so like, and this beautiful calming pillow light set, so I might as well just word vomit onto the internet. Who's with me?
A lot of people. Go on YouTube.
YouTube, that's right. What a time it's been. What a wild, like 2 weeks ago, it was the world was such a different place 2 weeks ago. Let me tell you.
It really was.
Boy.
What was it? Jared Leto was like off in the desert doing some retreat, and, like came back and was like, "What the heck?
What happened?"
Well, like I was just like looking at a little art. My husband sent me an article that was like the cast of Big Brother Germany doesn't know that COVID exists, so they're like going to tell them all about it on like a live TV special.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, apparently somebody from Brazil, I think it was, told me that they did that with the like Big Brother Brazil is on right now too, and it was the same thing. It was like they had to tell them like, okay, so like when you leave, you can't actually leave because like you need to stay here because to be safe, like like it's just a whole weird thing. Like one of the things that I have been finding, I mean, I always like it, but now I find it's helpful. And for some of you who are not used to being alone and maybe don't have anybody around you, I really like ASMR videos on YouTube, and I really, really like the personal care ones. So like there are really nice, not sexual ones where it just like, hey, I'm going to be your best friend and let me just like brush your hair and do your makeup tonight and positive affirmation you and like be a super, chill, nice friend or like a whatever. But like, I don't know, it's kind of nice to like, if you find somebody you really like, that it feels like they're your friend. Like it feels like they're talking to you. And so if you're somebody who is in like an isolation where you are actually isolated, something like that it can help you. It can help fool your brain into like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm got a person right here talking to me. And they're like, there's some good ones where they, are doing conversations. Like Alvin Wonderland has a couple that are like phone survey ones, and she is super good at not like, she keeps all of her stuff generic. So when she asks a question and you're maybe thinking an answer in your head and she's like, oh yeah, no, I totally get why that would be what you say, but like nothing specific to it. So she like, there's another girl that I like, Latte ASMR, and she's horrible at it. She's really, really good. Her videos are stunning, but she gives the answers. So you're like, she's like, what flavor would you like? And you like chocolate. And she's like, oh, vanilla. What a good choice. And you're like,
no, that's not my choice.
Not what I said. But even her videos are fantastic too. And it's just, I mean, there are also ASMRs out there that will give you more than just a friendly experience, but like,
yeah, they're on the spicy side.
Yeah.
But
there's also like other ASMR
for the K-pop boyfriend experience, there are lots of handsome young Korean men on YouTube who are providing the ASMR Korean boyfriend experience for you. Some of them are providing the full boyfriend experience for you. And
oh my god!
Let me just
say.
My god!
But, you know what? I feel like that would be a hilarious video series. Is just like going and recording yourself reacting, like having like fake conversations with these ASMR channels. Like, oh.
Well, they have one of the music channels does the thing, the ASMR with the K-pop, but it's the one where they make them sing in ASMR.
Yes.
So Monsta X has one that's really funny, and also Day 6 has one that's really funny because they're trying to like do it ASMR, so they're like basically whispering, and it's them like really soulfully singing, but they can't be loud. Or the one that that you can't wake up your manager.
Yeah. Wake up your mom. Yeah, don't wake up mom.
Yeah. They have different versions. Astro has one with the manager one. It is hilarious.
Or like Two Idiots does it a lot on their like personal channel. Yeah.
And then there's the Got 7 one, which is just. I'm sorry, when they pull out the like Bam Bam's already wearing like a curly blonde fro wig, and then they put like a turkey hat that like vibrates on it. Like you're sent to a new dimension.
Well, in the Astro one, MJ ends up in a banana outfit, and he really soulfully does their choreography of what, and they kind of all lose their minds. It's a good time. But also, so we are obviously all friends that originated on the internet. So know that we're here for you. Probably like if you know other people, like friends are friends, no matter if they're online or not. So
internet friends are real friends. Or can be.
Yeah.
They can be. I mean, of course it varies. I'm not saying that everyone's the same, but I know that like my DMs are always open if someone needs to talk about something, or if you're struggling, like I'm here.
And I've definitely seen that on the timeline from people have been really responsive and be like, hey, if you're actually having like problems, just like you can come talk to me about it. And so
even if it is, hey, can you make me laugh with some pictures? Like we do that all the time. Like hit us up. Like if you need us to send you some funny gifts, I can send you some funny gifts.
We are strong with the gift game.
You know,
we have a backlog that you haven't even seen, just raring to go.
If you feel like you really do need to, for instance, even stuff that we don't talk about, but we talk about periodically. Like if you need a guide to X-Files, I'm pretty sure Jesse.
Oh, yeah, if you like the X-Files and you're listening to this podcast, please, because I feel like we'll be best friends. Like, so please just like,
Jesse's like, please, I need this, please.
Like, drama friend, please, I need this. I need this. Really.
If you love Buffy, you don't even know how much I love Buffy.
No, Buffy's my second favorite show. So like, we could do that.
Listen, if you like the early 2000s show Roswell, and you need someone to talk to about it, you are looking at the world's biggest Michael Maria shipper you've ever seen, okay?
Is that on any streaming?
I don't think it is.
Me and my coworker were supposed to do a rewatch of it, Roswell. It was like a Roswell and wine night, and we never did it because she has all the
on anything.
I feel like it is, though, because I follow Brendan Fair on Twitter, and I feel like somebody was just talking about it. It just came up on something somewhere, and I can't remember where.
It's gotta be because the new version of it's
around. Anyway,
but like I want like OG like aliens. You know?
I don't know what it is. I haven't looked into it a whole lot, but he and the actress who played Maria, like they have a show that they're trying to shoot together.
I saw the pilot preview for it.
Yeah. And then they've been working on that, so that excites me.
Anyway, so there's resources out there for y'all.
Well, and some of us are considering stepping into anime more, like back in the
we are.
Yeah,
you mean considering?
No,
by considering, you mean already started rewatching My Love Story. Oh, by the way, if you have Crunchyroll, if you have Crunchyroll and you just want the fluffiest, cutest nonsense you've ever seen in your entire life, go watch the anime My Love Story. It's nothing but smiles. It's like, it's cotton candy.
Perfect.
And it is so sweet. It's about this dude who's always been like really sort of like big and heavy set and like not that attractive, and his best friend is like a really hot dude. So all these girls that he like always ends up liking his best friend who has no interest in them whatsoever. And then he saves this girl from a groper on the metro. And then she's like flirting with him, but he thinks that she's flirting with his best friend because girls never flirt with him, and his best friend's like, dude, she likes you. Anyway, and he's like, me? So like, it's like the cutest show. It's the cutest, so stupid, so cute. It gets my seal of approval. Also, Rail Wars also gets my seal of approval.
I need to watch Rail Wars.
Rail Wars is so funny. It's so cute. There's so many, like, listen, we should just do an anime episode, I swear.
I'm just saying, probably whatever interest you have amongst the four of us,
one of us has it.
Covered.
One of us has it. We have such varied interests that there's always one of us that, like, likes something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. It's true.
So anyway, reach out to us on the old Twitter machine.
Especially if you have any, like, suggestions on what we should be doing with this time, because we really do have the free time to be doing stuff.
I have some ideas, and we'll see the things that we come up with, but like, give us ideas. We don't promise that we'll do them, but we might.
Yeah, you never know.
Or we might do it, like, record it now and then surprise you 3 months from now. Who knows?
Like, you never know. You never know. Like, because it's, we're all in this for the long haul.
Oh boy.
So wash your hands. Socially distance. Be close in heart, far apart in physical distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 foot hugs.
Yeah.
6 foot.
That's what we've been doing at work. We're like, air hug.
Don't shake hands. Namaste hands instead. Give a little tie-wye to everyone. And cover your mouth when you cough. Don't cough on people.
No, cough into your elbow.
Yeah. And also stop hoarding toilet paper.
Yeah.
How much toilet paper do you need?
There needs to be no hoarding involved.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Oh.
Come on.
On the upside, not that it's good that it happened in the first place, but like hand sanitizer, how that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that
I've heard of this thing, yes. Hand sanitizer,
well,
yes.
It's a thing that got hoarded and isn't around anywhere, even online. So a lot of local type breweries or distilleries, they have switched over to making hand sanitizer so people can have it. And
they were doing that in Korea too. They were to the soju places. So it's just a really cool thing.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff I'm like, oh, I like that.
It's like, especially when it's like a local place too, it just like feels very like a great community thing. Like when your like specific community does it, I feel like it's a little bit more special because you're like, you've never gone to the place, but like it's where you are from, not just a state away hearing that story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the type of thing like, I might not have never come to your stuff or bought your whatever before, but doggone it, I'm going to now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just remember, everyone out there, we're all in this together, and it's gonna be okay.
And we'll be here.
Yeah, we'll be here. We ain't got no place else to be. So we just want to spread a little positivity to y'all in these most strange of times. Boy, what a turn this is taking.
Wow.
Am I right, ladies?
Yes.
I was like, 2020's going to be my year. And 2020 was like, girl. Bitch, you thought.
I mean, on the upside, as far as the podcast goes, our content continues to exist. I saw like a podcast today, they're like Hockey Mom something or other, and they were like, so we're not sure what we're talking about this week, but we're gonna be there.
No.
And I was like, yeah. And there's like a basketball one, and they were like,
it's the basketball, especially because this was been their like time. Oh.
Yeah, so some of the podcasts are scrambling a bit. But I feel like that's another thing. A lot of podcasts are like, you know what? We're just going to keep putting out podcasts because people need to hear voices that they're familiar with, and we need to do things that make us feel normal.
Exactly. And, so take some time for yourself. Be safe and,
reach out.
Reach out and keep enjoying all that Asian entertainment that keeps us sane in these uncertain of times. Anyway, we're glad that you tuned in to listen to us, and you can find us wherever you listen to us now, but we are also on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube, Spotify. That took me a moment. And of course, it's been, I took the 1 week off, I'm telling you. And of course, all of our episodes are on our website, certifiednunas.com, where Jessie lovingly places with a little kiss and a sprinkle every link to everything that we've talked about. A little fairy dust put in there. She puts all the notes and everything. So you can find us there. I'm gonna be honest. We'll probably be blogging more on there too. We got the time now.
Some content going on.
So yeah, we got stuff coming. Cause listen, for the content consumers, this is gonna be your year, my dudes. This is gonna be so much content.
If you are a consumer of our content, seriously, let us know what you want to hear from us.
Yeah. And after you donate to your local food bank and local charities, if you feel like donating to this local charity,
we could be your Starbucks because you can't go to Starbucks.
Exactly. You can go to ko-fi.com/certifiednunas to become an official sponsor of this podcast. We are here for you, and we want to hear from you on our Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and Facebook, which is all at Certified Nunas, and you can always reach us at certifiednunas@gmail.com. So anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. Next week we'll be more back on our usual bullshit, I'm sure. But we felt like we had to not ignore what has been happening around us.
The fact that we are all in a room.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. So, we just want you to know that we are in the same boat as all y'all, and we're all in this together. Anyway, be safe. Wash your hands for 20 seconds apiece, and use lots of soap and hand sanitizer. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.